Australians, tonight we need to talk about a revelation that has the power to shake Canberra to its core. This isn't a minor scandal, or another routine headline that fades after a day. This is explosive. Pauline Hanson has revealed a deal involving Jacinta Nampijinpa Price, a deal that, had it gone ahead, could have rewritten the map of Australian politics and destroyed the coalition as we know it. For years, voters have suspected that something deeper was happening behind the scenes, and now, Hanson has confirmed what many feared: betrayal, backroom deals, and a collapsing opposition. According to Hanson, she personally tried to recruit Jacinta Price to One Nation before the last federal election. Not just a conversation, not just a casual discussion, but a serious offer for Price to run for the Senate under the One Nation ticket. Imagine that for a moment. If Jacinta Price, one of the most talked about conservative voices in the country, had switched sides, the entire balance of power in Canberra would have shifted overnight. The Liberal Party would have faced a crisis far deeper than anything they have yet admitted. This isn't speculation. Hanson herself said it publicly, with no hesitation. She blew the lid off a truth that the mainstream media has tried to bury under layers of distraction. The story is not that Hanson supports Jacinta Price now. The story is that she once tried to bring her into her party, an offer that could have created a new conservative powerhouse in this country. But because the deal didn't happen, the coalition is crumbling under its own weight, leaving voters furious and without direction. And the timing of this revelation couldn't be worse for the Liberals. Under Sussan Ley's leadership, the coalition has failed to land a single meaningful punch on Labour in months. Instead of fighting for Australians, they've been bogged down in infighting, scandals, and a complete failure to communicate any vision. Voters are looking for answers on cost of living, on borders, on national security, and what they see instead is chaos and weakness. Into that vacuum steps One Nation, poised to seize what the Liberals are too divided to defend. Now, why does this matter? Because Jacinta Price has become more than just another senator. She is a symbol for disillusioned conservatives, a voice that many Australians see as unafraid to say what others refuse to. When Hanson revealed that Price was offered a ticket with One Nation, it signaled more than political maneuvering. It showed that the true fight for the conservative vote is no longer between the Liberals and Labour. It is between the establishment and those willing to challenge it. This deal could have destroyed the coalition before our eyes. But Hanson didn't stop there. She dropped another bombshell, that Labour has for decades weaponized immigration as a political tool. According to Hanson, this wasn't about humanitarian policy or economic planning. It was about deliberately bringing in voters to reshape electorates and keep Labour in power. She cited examples going back to the 1990s, alleging migrants were strategically targeted to swing key seats. And she claimed the very same tactic is happening today with Indian and Muslim migration. To Hanson, this isn't policy, it's political engineering, designed to cement control. Whether you agree with her or not, the accusation itself is devastating. If voters begin to believe that migration policy has been manipulated for electoral gain, the trust in both major parties collapses. And here's the kicker. Jacinta Price herself has raised concerns about migration and cultural change, echoing points that mainstream politicians refuse to touch. This makes the connection between Price and Hanson even more dangerous for the coalition. Together, their alignment on this issue could attract thousands of disillusioned voters who are tired of being dismissed or silenced. Inside Canberra, this revelation has sparked panic. Coalition insiders admit that if Jacinta Price were to walk away from the Liberals, the consequences would be catastrophic. Price leaving would signal open rebellion from the conservative base, many of whom already feel betrayed by weak leadership and endless compromise. One insider reportedly said, "If Jacinta quits, it's game over. Hanson will own the conservative vote." That statement alone tells you how fragile the coalition has become. They know that one high-profile defection could unravel their party's future completely. Meanwhile, Sussan Ley's leadership is already under fire. Many conservatives accuse her of turning the Liberal Party into a shadow of itself, timid, ineffective, and out of touch. Hanson's revelations only magnify those criticisms, because they expose how far the coalition has fallen. Once, the Liberals prided themselves on being the natural party of government. Today, they're accused of failing to even hold Labour accountable. The more Hanson speaks, the more voters ask why the opposition isn't fighting for them. And when that question lingers, the answer often becomes one nation. Jacinta Price's situation only intensifies the storm. She has been sidelined and criticized within her own party for speaking uncomfortable truths. Many supporters see her treatment as proof that the coalition punishes honesty and rewards weakness. Hanson knows this, and she is capitalizing on it. Her message is clear. Jacinta Price was punished for telling the truth, just as Hanson herself was, decades ago. This narrative of persecution and silencing resonates powerfully with voters who already feel ignored, and it threatens to pull them away from the mainstream parties for good. But let's be clear. This is not only about Hanson, Price, or the coalition. This is about the future of Australian politics itself. If Hanson's allegations stick, about immigration, about betrayal, about cover-ups, it will erode faith not just in one party, but in the entire system. When voters believe that their choices are being manipulated, that their voices are being silenced, and that their leaders are playing dirty games behind closed doors, they start looking for alternatives. And that's exactly what Hanson does. The voice of those who are wrong. We've seen this story before, overseas. Major Garage brought their own meeting by planning to produce an mainstream conservative party. In Labour, outsider parties rose when establishment politicians failed to deliver. Hanson sees the same opening here in Australia, and Jacinta Price could be her greatest weapon. By hinting at a partnership, Hanson positions One Nation as not just a protest party, but as the real opposition to Labour. If Price were ever to defect, it would give Hanson legitimacy on a scale One Nation has never achieved before. Already, coalition MPs are whispering about leadership challenges. Already, grassroots conservatives are asking why they should stay loyal to a party that refuses to fight. Hanson's revelation is the spark in the powder keg. Every day Jacinta Price remains at odds with her own party is another day the Liberals lose credibility. And every time Sussan Ley fails to land a blow against Labour, the narrative of weakness grows stronger. Hanson's bombshell is not just a headline, it is the beginning of a political realignment that could destroy the coalition.